Assalamu alaikum. Sulman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Brothers and sisters, this is the fourth phase in our 5 fundamental principles of Islam series. Here we're going to talk about energy. Now, what is energy? Energy is fundamentally is just mathematics, because the entire universe is just energy. The entire universe is mathematics, period. But it's force. Energy is also force. Gets kind of complicated, but we'll just leave it there. So if you recall the first three, they all interact. They all connect together. The most fundamental one is the first principle, on which all the others depend. The law of consequence. Every action has an oblique reaction, which also is force. But that ties right into this one directly, because we're going to be talking about force in the sense of energy. The more energy you have, the more force you have. Now, what you see, those 3 balls moving, the formula for force is mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration equals force. Mass is just how much acceleration. So, in other words, because acceleration is energy, is force. So just how much. So in other words, if the force is 12 and your mass is 1, your acceleration is going to be 12. 1 times 12. If your mass is 6, your acceleration is going to be 2, because 2 times 6 is 12. If your mass is 4, your acceleration will be 3, because 3 times 4 is 12. But the mass is just it's just how much of it is. See? So in other words, if you have a car and a truck accelerating at the same rate, the force is going to be greater for the truck because it's much larger. So in other words, just how much more of it you have. That's all it is. That's what mass is. Because mass is actually energy also, but we're not going to go into those technicalities here. So you see those 3 balls there. What it's showing you is that the black one has the most mass. It's denser. It's much denser than the other ones. So it's not moving as fast. See, come on, I said mass times acceleration. So if we look at this, we can say, okay, in the case of that black one, we can say, well, the mass is 6. So the acceleration will only be 2. If we say the force is 12. If we say the brown one, we say, well, its mass is 4. So the acceleration will be 3. See, because the black one is only 1, but his mass acceleration will be 3 because it's less dense. And then if you take the blue one and say, well, its mass is only 1, its acceleration will be 12. So it moves faster. That's the difference. The black was more dense, has more mass. The blue is less dense, has less. That's just a way of looking at it. So We're going to talk about this, try to explain it, because this is the principle underlying. It's called fasting. This one is called fasting, the fourth pillar. But the math behind it is energy. So I'll give you a short example here, then we move on and speak about it a little more. See that? What's going on there is you see the black one's much bigger, it's moving much slower. The white one, less mass, is moving much faster. That's the idea. Look at it again. See? Mass times acceleration equals force. That's in part relates back to the creation of Yaku's grafted devils because they have less mass. In other words, they have a weaker structure. Structures also can be considered mass. So they have much more energy. So they have more energy than us, so they can rule. But we have more mass, more structure, so we have less energy. But we're not going to go into that phase of it, or at least that detail of it here. Now, fasting. What's fasting all about? Fasting is a combination of energy and food, right? Energy and food. That's what fast is all about. Mass times acceleration. The food is mass and the energy acceleration. When you understand what fasting actually does. Because fasting, right, is the means, right, to manage your energy. To manage your energy. They don't understand like that. The Sunnis don't understand like that because they think fast is some ritualistic thing that just pleases this mystery God they believe in. No, it's mass times acceleration. Because you minimize the food that you eat and you increase your acceleration, increase your energy. Once you learn to manage it. See? Once you learn to control it. So, for instance, if you eat 3 times a day and you eat 1,000 calories in the morning and 1,000 calories in the afternoon and 1,000 calories in the evening, right? Well, that's 3,000 calories a day. But that's mass time. So, in other words, in the morning, mass, so you got 1,000 calories in the morning, right? So that's going to slow your energy down because the more mass you have, the less energy. So say, for instance, your energy point is 3,000. So you're using 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 in the afternoon, and 1,000 in the evening. That's 3,000 altogether. That means your acceleration only can be 1, for the day. So you can divide it up in 3 parts. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. But what if you took and did that once a day? And that means you have increased your energy for the most part of the day, except for that one time a day, right? So that's time maybe you're resting or whatever. But your energy level is going to be higher in the morning, in the afternoon, if you eat in the evening, because your mass during that period of time is minimal, because you're not eating anything. You see. So what if you was to take and say instead 3 calories, 3,000 calories a day, one time a day, say 3 calories, say 6,000 calories every other day, or every 3 days. So 9,000 calories every 3 days. Now, look all the energy you're going to have for 1 and 2 days. You're only going to slow down on that third day. But for 2 days, until you ate that third day, your energy level is going to be quite high. So you didn't eat less calories. You still ate as much calories you ate before, but you maximize your energy, right, for two days, almost 3 days, until you ate on that third day, or if you did every 2 days. That's when you manage it. You increase your energy. No one should eat more than one meal a day anyway. So you're managing your energy. So when you manage your energy, then you have more energy to do the other pillars, because all the other pillars require energy. Because if you have no energy, you can't do the other 4 pillars either. So that's how you're managing it. That's what Farad taught you. That's what Elijah Muhammad taught you. Learn to manage your energy. You say, oh, I get hungry. No, the hunger that you think you feel is not is body memory. Because you train your body to eat at a certain time of day, so it's just getting ready, it's just preparing itself to eat. Once you break that, if you're strong enough, right? You're mentally strong enough to go through the so-called hunger pains for a few days, make it a week, probably make a week, maybe 2 weeks. For some of you, you're used to it. You won't have those hunger pains anymore because your body will realize that you're not doing that anymore. It adjusts to whatever eating pattern that you train it to. I haven't had hunger pains in, I can't even remember, 20, 30 years. I broke that cycle 30, 40 years ago. And I've been on 30-day fast, week fast, 2-week fast. Never suffered hunger pains at all because my body is not trained to be ready to eat any time of day. 3 times a day or whatever. So it doesn't even get prepared. It just doesn't prepare because it doesn't know what I'm going to eat anyway. It's something you train yourself to do. But if you can't do this, this allows you, right, to be able to do the other 4 pillars. See? So if you want energy, that's how you get it. That's how you get energy. By fasting, mass time acceleration equals force. That's how much force you have. God force. You want to be a God? You have to have God force. You have to apply the 5 pillars of Islam. All of about force. This is just one aspect of force. Like I was telling you, all the 5 pillars all are force. They're all aspects of force. Like water, there's 3 aspects of water. Steam, right? Flowing water, and ice. It's all water. See? But it's 3 different states of water. And the 5 pillars of Islam are 5 different states of force. The most fundamental states. Because that's our nature. See? Because everything comes from us. We're the gods. Everything reflects our nature. See? And that's proof that we're the gods because this is our nature. The 5 pillars of Islam defines your nature. It's up to you to apply it to achieve your godhood. If you desire to achieve, to aspire to being the gods that you were made to be. That's the 5 pillars. That's it, brothers and sisters. You have to apply them if you want to aspire to the God that you were meant to be. God force. See? So, we're going to recap on the other 4, the other 3 rather. This is the 4th one. And then the next phase would be the last one, the Hajj, which is another aspect of force. The first one is just force, period. Consequence, that's just force. Every action has an opposite equal reaction. That's force. That's the definition of force. Mass time celebration is also a definition of force. Torque is also a definition of force, because torque is spinning force. Current is a force differential. It's all force. Just different aspects of it, different attributes of it. And it's our nature. And the only way you can understand yourself, have thorough knowledge of yourself, you have to have thorough knowledge of the 5 pillars of Islam, because that's your nature you're talking about. And you manage your nature. So we're going to go and talk, we're going to recap on the first 3. Now here we go. What's the first one? Consequence. Every action has an opposite but equal reaction. It's consequence. That is the most fundamental principle of the universe. That's Allah. That's Holy Spirit. Mathematics. That's what it is. Mathematics. Everything is mathematics. The Bible called the Holy Spirit. See? The sealed Bible, that's Yaqub. That's his reality. But his reality, right, like I said, thermonuclear bomb, ignited, it caused enough pressure, right, to forge us a thermonuclear explosion that will just blow away all realities. That's the unsealed Bible. But when you look at this, consequence, we've been attacked. We attacked 35,000 years ago, religion, no consequence. See, the Quran says, remembrance of Allah is the greatest force. What does it mean by that? That's thinking mathematically. That's the greatest force, because none of those religions require you to think mathematically. They don't think mathematically. There's no mathematics that's applied to it. There's no logic, any reason. It's all based on belief. So when you think mathematically, that's the greatest weapon against religion. You say, well, you got Christians that think math. No, it's different between, for instance, you go on a job that requires you to hard physical work. That's an exercise. That's hard physical work. Because when you get out there, you're not doing it anymore. See, if you exercise, it means that's a program that you do to keep yourself in shape and everything else. But you're doing physical exercise. See, but that's not what you're about. You're doing because you need a job. So they get you to go in there and think mathematically to be a programmer or a physicist or whatever. But that's not your reality. That's not the way you look at your reality. You don't think mathematics. When you go home, you don't think about that. You don't think about that on the job because they're paying you to think that way on that particular job. It's not the same thing. If you think in mathematics, your whole life, your whole reality is based on mathematics, that's thinking mathematically. Because religion is not about you going on a job and practice some religion, right? That's your reality. Your religion is your reality, which is an illusion, because all religions are illusions. There's no mathematics involved. So the best force, the greatest force, and that's it, consequence is the greatest force. Think mathematically. You think mathematically, religions can't touch you. When they come to you, you're going to look at it mathematically point of view, and you're going to dispel it. But if you're not thinking mathematically, that's how they can come in and get you a religion. They can't. If you think it mathematically, they cannot touch you with religion. There's no religion on this planet can touch you, right? If you think it mathematically, because you're not going to accept it. Because they tell you don't think mathematically. You just got to have faith and all kinds of nonsense they come up with. Understand that? So that's the greatest force. Remembrance of Allah. See? That also helps you because in the situation we are right now, where we're bombarded with all these filthy, sick thoughts, evil thoughts in the atmosphere that we're picking up on, when you think mathematically, then that helps you distinguish between your thoughts and everybody, because all these other thoughts come in, you're getting them, but if they're not mathematically based, then you know that's not me. Remember I said this particular consequence, this particular pillar, all the other ones rest on. So you can always fall back on this one for the other ones, because torque deals directly with that, right? But this one is the undercurrent of it. Because if you think mathematically, right? If you think it mathematically, and you're around people that don't think mathematically, that's going to be a red flag right there, because you get thoughts that's not mathematical, you know right away, I'm stay away with that. I'm going to stay away from that one. See, I'm not going to respond to that thought. I'm not going to let that thought impact me. See, that's not a thought I want to deal with. I'm not going to deal with non-mathematical thoughts. That means you will not be caught up in any religion, right? Scientology, Farrakhan's madness. It won't get anywhere near you, because first thing you're going to test it for its mathematical qualities, its mathematical nature. And once you realize it has none, its history is toast. Then we go to torque. See, 35,000 years ago, we came under attack by Dr. Buddha with religion. Took almost the whole planet off the mathematical standard. Once they'd done that, then they could fill you with all these religions that had no mathematical base to separate the creator from his creation. That was an attack upon us, right? Was an attack upon Islam. As Faraj said, right, says that was the first enemy to Islam, Buddhism. 35,000 years ago, there's no such thing as religion, because everything was based on mathematics. Once they got you off the mathematical standard, then they could give you all kinds of religions. That's why you have so many religions out there. Now, why would you have so many religions? Why would you have so many religions? There's only one reality, so why are there so many religions? You're saying there's all these different realities? The only reality that we know about is only one, is based on mathematics. Mathematics is, you can't see it, it's unseen, but it's visible everywhere. That's what the Quran means by the unseen. It's unseen, mathematics unseen, but it's visible everywhere. Because everywhere you look, it's nothing but mathematics. Everything that you're doing, everything that's real is mathematically based. See? But because you're not thinking mathematically, they get you, and so therefore you're impervious to mathematical thought, and so there they got you hung up in your illusion, and once they get you in that illusion, they can do anything they want with you. Because now they can appeal to your emotions, right? To your ego, all these different things, see, which reduce you basically to a beast. Because once they take you off the mathematical standard, they've reduced you to a beast. That's what they've done. You don't even realize it. Then we go to torque. Again, that's force, but it's circular force. So the force moved around. The only place if it's moving and spinning, right? That's a force. But since it's even all the way around, the only way the force can exert itself, right, manifest itself, is perpendicular to that, to the spin, which is called torque. It's uplifting force. The more you spin, right, the more upright you become. See? And we talked about that as far as your mind and tuning in, because your heart is an antenna, right? It's like a tuning fork. So it tunes in. So if your heart is weak and it's not tuning, right, it's tuning, I mean, you don't, because your thoughts, right, derive from your heart. You say, oh, in my brain, oh, really? See? It transmits and your brain interpret, translate it. Because thoughts, thought is just force. Thought is just pressure. That's all thought is, just pressure. It takes force to move anything, right? It's how you move your body. You move your body with thought. And nothing moves without force. So it's pressure. See? And it derives from your heart, but your brain just translates it. Just translates it. Figure out what's going on. Like your eyes. Your eyes come in, right? And what you see, what comes in from your eyes, that's what you see is how your brain interprets that. That's how they can get you an optical illusion of thing. Because your brain interprets, you don't, what you looking out there, that's what you see is your interpretation of what your brain says you're seeing. It's not what your eyes are taking in. What you're seeing is a translation, and the science, the cave even know that. Look into it. It's a translation. Your brain translates what it is that you think you're seeing. It's a translation. What you see is a translation, right? It's just like when you're dreaming, right? Is your eyes open? But you're seeing something. You're seeing things while you're dreaming, but your eyes are closed because your brain translation of what it is you think you're perceiving. See? You think, oh, it's coming direct to your brain. No, it's not. See? So, when your heart is fine-tuned, when it's firm, fine-tuned, then you can distinguish between everyone else's thoughts and yours because your heart is picking up the vibration from everywhere. Picking up all other heart vibrations. See? You're picking them up. But it's like it being a crowded room. And you can't distinguish your thoughts from everybody else. Hey, be quiet, I can't think. Same principle. See? So, torque, right? Because when you recite the Quran, right? Because it says it protects you from evil. When you recite the Quran, right? What you're doing is you're taking the words from the Supreme Being who has the firmest heart, and because the voice and the heart is connected, you're reversing the process. So by that, you're firming your heart, you're tuning your heart up. And the more you do it, right, the firmer your heart becomes. That's why the Quran says removes fear, because fear means your heart. The more your heart is out of control, the more fearful you're going to be till you become paranoid. That's why you be smoking that pot and stuff. You get all paranoid because your heart's getting out of control. That's fear. So that's removed because your heart is the governor of your what? Circulatory system. Anything that spins produces torque. Upright and force. You become upright, and when you come upright, it's hard to throw you over. The more firm you are, it's hard. If you are a gyroscope, the more it spins, the harder it is to move its position. So you become firm, so you can walk a tightrope without fear of falling over. Because you can take a gyroscope, if you watch the previous ones, and put it on a string and it won't fall off until it stops spinning. So when you stop spinning, stop making slots, you're going to fall over. So all of a sudden now you got all these problems. See, you fall over, you end up in jail, in this trouble, that trouble, whatever. See, because you lost your balance. And that's why so many of our people in that situation. So many of our people are in that situation. They don't know why, because they don't make salats. See, they lose control of themselves, right? And they fall over because we walk in a tightrope, we don't know it. We all walk in a tightrope. We just don't know it. See? We're on a tightrope. That's energy deprivation. Same thing as budget. A budget is tightrope. You have so much money coming in, you got so much expenses. You got to balance them. And if you don't have enough money to balance your expenses, then you got a very that tightrope is very tight because you got to figure it out. Because I mean, oh man, well we got to eat, we have a place to stay, you know, we got to get back and forth. You got gas to get back and forth with all kinds of expenses, right? Pay your telephone, so you got to figure out what can you pay, what can't you pay, you know, how much food can you buy? Do you have to eat less, whatever? That's a tightrope. And that's the way we're living right now because of energy deprivation. You understand? So therefore, when you torque, same thing. So the more you spend, the more you recite, right? The better you can manage that balance. The better you can balance, right? The better you can walk that tight. The better you can balance your budget, right? And you can walk that tightrope without falling off. Because if you don't have enough to manage that budget, then you're gonna fall off. You go without food, or you go without shelter, or you go without gas, or your children go without clothing. Somebody have to go without. So you know, and so the same thing. You walk in a tightrope. You walk in a tightrope in America, and because you don't understand about talking, reciting the Quran, you keep falling off the tightrope. Some of you fall to your death. Some of you fall into prison. Right? Some of you fall into the hospital. Right? Into the madhouse. And we don't understand falling off, right? And the master was picking us off one by one, being hung and everything else because we didn't even know this was walking a tightrope. And even if we did, we did not know how to walk it until Master Farad Muhammad came along and started teaching Elijah Muhammad how to walk it, right? To get prepared because they know this rope was going to get very tight, very small. It was going to be very bad, a time of unprecedented trouble. And that's where Suleiman would have to come and teach you how to be masters at walking that. That's what this is all about, walking that tightrope. See? Because religion tells you, hey, all you got to do is believe in Jesus. Just believe in Jesus. That's one religion. You see? Just close your eyes and believe in Jesus. Okay, you try to walk a tightrope, close your eyes, just say, well, I think I'll be okay. I'm going to call on the Lord. You're going to crash and burn. That's why so many people are what's happening to them. And so-called field slavery, right? Left and right. Because we didn't have that knowledge. Okay, so you have torque. Now we know. We have the Quran. That's why I call Quran of mercy. So you can recite. That makes you sure-footed. So you can walk that tightrope without any fear. Because it takes away your fear. Your heart becomes firm, and it's hard for you to topple over. It's hard for anyone to topple you over. See? Then we get the currents. Again, that's walking the tightrope. Because when you're walking that tightrope, right, you got all kinds of winds and tornadoes and all kinds of, hurricanes blowing. So here you're on this tightrope, you're 40 miles above, you're on the 40th floor, right? And you're walking this tightrope from one building to another, 400 miles long, 400 years. And you're trying to get to the other side. First of all, you have to have a sense of direction. See, that's the first consequence. See, then you have to have a sense of direction. Then you have to take and walk, right? Then you have to be fearless, right? You have to have a sense of balance. And then on top of all of that, right? Now you got these currents blowing at you. So even if you walk in it, right, and you have a sense of balance, you have a sense of direction, the winds may be too high and still may be enough to blow you over. See, in a torque, see, They tell you, oh, see, they didn't tell you anything about Salah. Their weapon against you, or just take drugs. See, take alcohol, different things that calm your fear. See, okay, so now you won't have any fear of walking a tightrope, but you still have no sense of balance. So what's going to happen? Or you're going to fall to your fearless death. Because our brothers and sisters taking alcohol, so now I have no fear, but it's still what? Going out there and want to fight the man, fight massa. See, they got all this courage now, right? And they get the head blown off. You see, because that's misguided courage. That's drug-induced courage. See, so it's not going to keep you. It's not you're not going to be able to walk that line with that type of courage because you walk without any sense of balance. Like somebody go out there and they get all drunk and now they want to go and attack whole motorcycle gang because they don't have, well, you know how it's going to end. Just because they don't fear it, they still get their ass tore up. You see, because that's not real. It's an illusion. They're not fearless. Their heart is just drugged. It's like when you have a surgery and they give anesthesia, right? You feel all that pain, all that. Your brain is feeling all of that. See, all those cuts and everything. It still messes with your nerve. It's just what happens is they give you drugs. They used to give you a drug that was deadly. So you, in other words, it would block you. You understand? It would drug you, so you would not think that you felt the pain. But now they give you a drug now that you feel the pain, you just don't remember it. Mm-hmm. That's deep, isn't it? You just don't remember the pain because I went through that. They told me, I said, really? You was awake when you was doing that surgery. You was wide awake. See, but you just don't remember it. They give you a drug with the mobilize you, to immobilize you, to paralyze you basically, but you still felt it, but you just don't remember it. So in other words, you walking that you out there on that you out there, right? Walking that line, see, but you don't have any balance, but you're just not afraid. See, so like jump into a lion's den after you're drunk, you're not afraid, but you're gonna get ate. So that's the case of deal with the fear. They tell you drugs. You see, they tell you drugs, see? And that's the answer. So when they do that, they can use you. Did you do stupid things? Religion, that's a consequence. Then we get the currents that we talk about now. Currents. See? Because you got these winds blowing. So how does it help you? See, walking, right? This thin line. See? How does that help you? Because torque gives you a sense of balance so you can walk it without fear. Consequences give you a sense of direction. But currents, you got all these things blowing against you. See, the wind's blowing. So even if you have enough, you have torque, sense of balance, the wind may be too great, still top you over. Okay, what is that? That's one word that calls luck. So that's the balance because you have currents. That's why I call it currents, right? So in other words, everyone has a certain amount of energy. Everyone has a certain amount of energy is equal to everyone else. That's the principle you need to get used to, familiar with. See, because it's justice for all. Everyone gets the same. It's what they do with it. See? So if that's the balance, say the balance is 12 or the balance is 100, everyone has 100, but you take 50 from someone else, that means you're out of balance now because you have a negative, right? To balance you back up to 100. That's called negative energy or bad luck. See? And that's the currents that's blowing against you because these bad luck is going to be the hurricanes or tornadoes stuff that come up and now it's blowing against you. So when you spin out of what we have given you, see, like it says consequence, right? The the when you take and says the remembrance of Allah is the greatest force, that gets back to consequence, thinking mathematically, right? But it says salats, right, protects you from evil. So it gets you your balance. See? So, but then you get the currents, right? Okay, now that's all these things start blowing, negative stuff start blowing up because you create those things yourself by your being out of balance. Taking more, that's why I say spin out what we have given you. Because if you do, you have a sense of balance. But if you take more, it tells you spend out what we give you. Everyone's given the same amount. But if you spend more than that, like you go out here, you want to borrow money and usury and all these different things, right? That means you're out of balance. And once you're out of balance, that means you build all these currents around you because currents is a force differential. See? So therefore, you taking more than you're supposed to. You have a force differential, right? So you build a current. So now you got these hurricanes and stuff in your life that's blowing up. And the more you take, the bigger the hurricanes, the bigger the tornadoes, right? The bigger the winds, the greater. And so now you're trying to walk this tightrope. You're trying to walk this tightrope, and then you might have good torque. You might have thinking mathematically. And so therefore you can survive those winds, right? Because you may not be building that much of a wind. So you can still survive. You're blowing against you, but you still can handle it. But then you keep on going, and after a while the wind comes so great that it's enough to even blow you over anyway. See? Instead of getting a headwind, right? Instead of getting a tailwind, now you're getting a headwind blowing against you, backwards because you're going in the wrong direction now, right? So now you got your consequence, you're going in the right direction, but now you done build a headwind, right? That's slowing you down. And you got side winds, right? See? That's blowing you off from the side. Because you're building those because you out of, right? You're taking more than you're supposed to have. Spend out what we have given you. So you go out, you go out there and get that mortgage, right? You go out there and get that mortgage, and I've done it. We've all done it because that's capitalism. See? But now you still build a headwind because they tell you, oh, well, you're paying over time. No, you're paying immediately. You're paying immediately. In their analytical world, yeah, you're paying over time. So over time, right? Over years, time, that went subsiding because you're giving money back, but you experience the full force of it the minute you move into that house. You get the full force of it the minute you move in the house because it doesn't wait. Mathematics ain't waiting for you. That's the devil's trick. But over time, it subsides. If you can survive it at that point, over time it subsides because you constantly paying money back. So you're constantly achieving your balance. So if in effect you survive the first hit, That's why it says Allah is quick at reckoning, because the reckoning takes place instantaneously. It doesn't wait. The mathematics works immediately, instantaneously. For every action is opposite equal reaction, and instantaneously, not later, instantaneously. You see? So that's capitalism, that's to give you against current, and that deceive you because you think, hey, well, I got this now, I pay for it later. No, you're paying for it right now. But the process of paying, right, alleviates it over time, slowly, but you're paying for it right now. You see? That's what you can to deceive you to think, hey, oh, well, I get this now and I can pay later. No, you pay it right now. So you store money up in the bank. No, you put money in the bank. That means that so you got that, you put that money in energy over there. So right, that's part of what you're supposed to have. So that might mean, right, that now all of a sudden you don't have anything else because you storing that Quran tells you, right, that that it will be fire, that money that you stored up will be fire, will burn you. So you think you're saving for a rainy day, and you're actually creating a rainy day. That's all about currents, capitalism, usury, right? Okay, you take and you give somebody $1,000 and you want $1,500 back. Well, that's imbalance. All these things cause an imbalance. So cause these winds that's in your life, all these winds and things come up in your life. See, my life right now is fine-tuned. It went off a little bit, but it's $1,400 still this thing. It went off for $1,300. I was strong enough to correct it, right? I knew what was going on. I knew that the winds that was coming, it was equal to the $1,400, right? All of a sudden, my tablet broke. I mean, it was working fine. It was just crap. My laptop started crashing. It was working fine before that. So if you go out there and win $1 million, for instance, right? See, that's why the criteria will be doing that. You win $1 million, then you got $1 million more than what you're supposed to have. So now you got $1 million worth of bad weather in your life, blowing to get you, hurricanes, tornadoes and stuff all popping in your life. You say, where's all this coming from? It's coming from you because you hold on to something that you're not supposed to have. Spend out what we have given you. So even if you got walking the right direction and you got your torque going, right? Even though you have that, the wind maybe can overcome that because you out here taking things you're not supposed to have. Taking more, taking from other people, stealing whatever. See? And the other side of that, with the more sophisticated side of that, is if the balance is 1,000, right? And you got $1,000 shit farm, that's your balance. You're spelling it, but that's your balance. That's cool. But if you want, sitting right there, I'm tired of smelling this here, but you envious this person over here that got $1,000 gold mine. Well, the reason they got $1,000 gold mine, right, is because of they don't have the $1,000 shit mine. Make a little note here. So if you want that $1,000 gold mine, you have to give up that $1,000 shit mine. That's why I say Allah will lift you up and you cling to the earth. You can't have both unless you're going to create a negative situation for yourself. So it's your quality. And that comes from following the 5 pillars, because in the 5 pillars you get your mind straight. So therefore you make sure you have the best quality of your $1,000 instead of the worst quality. Because if your mind is all polluted right? Because you're not doing torque, so your minds are polluted with everyone else's minds all confused. That means you're going to be the quality of how you apply what you do with your $1,000 is going to be affected. It's going to be all diluted. Because if your mind is diluted, then the quality of what you do with your resources is going to be polluted. If your mind is polluted, right, confused, the quality of your life is going to be reflect that. So instead you go out and get a diamond mine, you're going to get a shit farm of equal value. Of equal value. As far as mathematics concerned, you supposed to have $1,000, you got $1,000 worth of shit, the other person got $1,000 worth of diamonds. Period. Math case closed. Mathematics is satisfied because it satisfies the principle. So when you take and start thinking mathematically, and then you start doing your slots and getting your torque, you start thinking clearly, and your mind becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. So that means that's going to affect the quality of what the energy that you're getting. And the energy is going to determine how much energy you have. It's going to determine by how you apply the fourth principle about math times acceleration. See how all these connected? So you go out and see these preachers, right? See? Because they're either demons or they off the mathematical standard, they push it religion. They push it the sealed Bible. So the people that they're bringing in, right, are of that level. That means they're going to be stuck in this world because when this world goes, those people go with it. And the preacher all goes with it because the sealed Bible is of this world. That's Yaakov's world. The unsealed Bible is the next reality. So if you taking and doing these particular things and you doing thinking constant, that means you're thinking mathematically, that means you're going to relate to the angel and the people that you're going to, right, be bringing in or motivating, right, is going to be people, right, that's going to be on that level. That means those are people that's going to the hereafter because they're going to be on that new reality. They're going to be on that vibration. They'll be in the vibration of the new reality, not the vibration of this old reality. See how these things connect together? See how they come together? That's why I was saying, as I get into this, I'm trying to show how these things interact with each other. It's symbiotic relationship. All of them connect. They work together. So the preacher out there got his church, he's talking to stuff, fine. But he's preaching this reality because his mind is in his reality because he's not thinking mathematically, so he's thinking not mathematical religion. So that's going to affect, right, the quality of the people that he's around, the people that he brings around him or her. And that quality of people, right, are of this reality. And they're going to go down, but the angel is getting rid of this, blowing away this reality. They're going to be blown away with this reality. Understand that. Because the sealed Bible is powerful, but it's for this reality. It's the book for this reality. It's the book that was given to Adam. That's Yaakov's creation to bring in this reality that you see around you. And we see this reality is being blown away. It's crumbling before our eyes. See? But once you start thinking mathematically, you get the angel and you start making your slots, right? And you start, right, spin out what we have given you, right? Your mind gets clear and your quality of the people that you're around, that you're bringing around, right, is going to be, right, of the new reality, the angel reality, which is the hereafter reality. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand how that works. Okay. So we don't worry about them. See? We don't want religion. So capitalism was the enemy, right, of, because currents, right, the thing, it's like it's better to give than to receive. So instead of taking more you have, right, it's better if you have to give to others. Not just material things, but how you deal with other people. Be pleasant, be nice. When I say be nice to devils and demons, because we have to get rid of them, right? But you have to have enough strength to still be able to handle that. Because you got these people, they want to go against devils and demons, but they don't have consequence. They don't have torque. They have currents. So they get knocked off. They go out there, you see what happened. They want to attack the police, get blown away. You see? Because what's happening here? I keep talking about blind elephants. So our people are starting to rise and starting to get energized. But without consequence, they have wrong direction. Without torque, they have no balance, no sense of balance. Without currents, right? You understand that? They got all, capitalism, they got all these force blowing, so they go out and get their head blown off. Talking about pick up guns, and we're going to fight against the man who makes the guns, who they end up in jail, they end up in dead, all these kind of things. See? Because that's a blind elephant. And who's responsible for this? Farrakhan, Silas, all these clowns out here, Royal. Because our people getting energized, but they don't know how to manage their energy. They don't have their mind. They don't have a sense of balance. But they don't understand they're walking a tightrope. So when you give them that tightrope up there, you're going to fall off to your death. That's why most people in this situation, in prisons and everything else, if they got this, they walk out of that prison. And they start applying this, they walk out of that prison. Because they ain't dead yet. They just fell, they're hanging. See, if they fall off, they're dead. But they don't lost their balance. They're hanging onto the rope now. They're in prison, they've been holding on the rope. They start applying this, they'll be able to get on top of that rope and nobody pull them off. I try to tell these brothers, if they apply this, they'll walk out of that prison. I don't care what they're in there for, because that means they still holding on to the rope. They ain't fell off yet. But if they're in the graveyard, that means they're blown off, they didn't fell off, they're dead. That's what happened to most of our people, brothers and sisters. And you got all these fools telling them, leading them into destruction, like so-called Black Panthers and Black Lives Matters. Anybody got any sense? See, the point that probably tell you they don't even have any sense, because how in the world you gonna go against Massa with guns? He make the guns. You got to go ahead and ask the books. That ain't make no sense at all. But they can't see that. So they can't see this religion. They can't see anything because they're not thinking mathematically. And the people that they pulled into that, they're not thinking mathematically either. So they can tell them all this stuff sounds good because their minds, right? They're in here and they're getting vibration from all these brains, from all these brains from every place else, getting these vibrations from all these hearts. And so they can't distinguish their own heart. So the prevailing ideas, it's like peer pressure. The prevailing ideas, they stuck into it. Prevailing ideas, right? They go along with it. Because they think that was their ideas. They think that's their mind. They think it's not really their thoughts. But they move by everybody else's thoughts that they think are theirs. Because they can't distinguish between their actual thoughts and everybody else's. So they're moving along with the crowd. And the weaker their mind is, right? The weaker their heart is, the more susceptible to that kind of idea of moving it along. It's like so-called Democratic Party. How these black folks all in mass are going along as the Democratic Party. How they go along in mass when it's totally against them? Because they don't have control of their minds. Because they're not applying these principles. See? So currents is basically another way. Those who have more give to those who have less. Right? So therefore, that's another way of looking at it. But other ways, like say, when you got all this garbage in your house, you got all these things, you got 2 or 3, what you need 2 or 3 cars for? You got all this stuff that you have. That's why I say, when Suleiman come, right, he would tell you what to store in your houses. You need to get that stuff out, because you're paying for that stuff. You're paying for it. All that money you save in the bank, you're paying for all this stuff. And it's causing your imbalance, causing these hurricanes and stuff that's whipping all around you, blowing you this way, blowing you that way. That's what's causing it. Just have what you need. Get all that stuff out of there. Tell me you save for a rainy day. You're causing a rainy day. Okay, so that's energy. Now, what's their currents? Capitalism. The more money you have, the more power you're going to have. See, that's the answer to currents. So no, man, no, get money. Usury, no, get. See, that's the answer. They never cancer and everything else. That's their answer. That's why it's disease and all that kind of stuff. They brought that into the world. That was not into the world before they came. Disease and all that kind of stuff. They brought that into the world because they a violation is here, and they're like consecrate. Do religion, math. You don't have to get your heart firm. Take some alcohol, right? Or currents, give away, chair. Man, hell with that, man. Get all the money you can. See. And then how you deal with energy. Oh man, see, because energy, see, mass, so you increase your energy because you need energy to do other things. The more energy you have, so that means fasting. Mass times acceleration. So you minimize, don't say don't eat nothing. That's not what it says. You eat many calories you need, but you just take and manage when you eat them. So that means you maximize your energy, right? The rest of the time, you have maximum energy. If you eat 1 meal a day, you have more energy than the person who eat breakfast, lunch. Because if you eat breakfast, the first thing you want to do is you want to go right to sleep. Or you want to drink some coffee or something. You see, so that tells you something right there. So if you eat 1 meal a day, you're going to have more energy than that person who eats breakfast and lunch. See? No, you don't eat anything until that 1 meal. Or you eat 1 meal every other day. Double the calories. Instead of 3,000 calories in one day, eat 6,000 calories the second day. Or eat 9,000 calories the third day. And you maximize your energy, so you got more energy, get used to it, you got more energy to do all other things. See? They said leisure. See? Man, don't worry about all that, man. Just leisure, comfort, luxury. That's the answer. You don't need all that. Man, luxury, man. And what does that do for you? See? So you laying back, doing whatever, right? Then you walking that tightrope, and now you're lazy and you can't even walk. You gotta sit down. You get out of it, you winded. See? How is that gonna work? Then you have enough energy to do other things. See, if you know how to do them, right? You don't have the energy to do them. See? Or it takes you longer, so now you gotta sit down, relax, rest. See? Or just bring your couch up just bring your couch up on there, right? See? Or whatever. See? Then we get to Hajj. That's going to be our next one. I'll talk about it a little bit, but the next one after this, next phase, we talk about the Hajj. See? Because this one was primarily talking about energy. The Hajj is harmonic motion. Harmony. Everybody's moving around, different demographics, race, everything moving around, and no conflict. Democracy is the opposite. Everybody do their thing. It's just opposite. See? That's what I'm telling you. See? So you never have any peace. How you gonna have it? You can't, because everybody think they're doing their own thing. So I want to play some music. So here they got you living next door to a fool. You'll play some music. I want to play all music. Yeah, but I don't want to hear it. I want to wear perfume. I don't want to smell it. See? I want to talk to my on the phone. I don't want to hear it. No, but I do what I want to do. Yeah, but why I gotta, I'm on a treadmill and trying to listen to something and hear you run your mouth. I say, hey, excuse me. Hey, man, I want to talk it. Yeah, but I don't want to hear it. Yeah, but it's free world, man. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And a lot of it just go along with it. And you think going along with it is peaceful, but no, it's affecting you physically. It's affecting you because you're absorbing all that angst in you and your heart is absorbing it, right? Eventually, it's going to take you down because you're not happy, you're not at peace. So you get anxiety, high blood pressure, hypertension. If you fight against it, right, then you got to get in a fight. So it's hurting you. That's their democracy. That's the best way. No, it's not the best way. It's the worst way. It's chaos against harmony. So in other words, if you got so-called global warming, right, you're going to put that to a vote? If this is going to take down the whole planet, you're going to put to a vote to people that don't know anything about what this is about. This because the majority, because it just, And then we've been over here with these people, right? And they ain't gonna never let you be a majority. That's why they got abortion and everything else. But even if they was, if you know, see, you don't compromise truth. That's democracy. That means you gotta no, you don't compromise. Compromise truth is a lie, it's a falsehood. You can't compromise truth. Like somebody tell you, okay, here's clean water, right? So you're gonna let somebody put some dirty water, you're gonna drink it because everybody else, you can't compromise truth. Compromise truth is no truth anymore. And that's what democracy is. Oh, we gotta come to agreement. We gotta compromise. Compromise when you know the right way. You're gonna if you know the right way to go into California the right way, and because other people say no, I think because you can your car say, well, I'm not sure, but you know. But everybody in the car don't know. But they say, and you're gonna go along with them, even though when you know the right way, you're gonna go along with them. That's why we have a God that knows the right way. That's why Jesus said, my way is the only way. Because I don't know, it's only one way you're going to get to the hereafter. My way through my book of life. So you can vote and all that what you want to. If your name in the book of life, you ain't getting in there. So you can vote and compromise everything else. Your book ain't in there, you're not going. If somebody jump off a building, you can vote all you want to. Their ass hit the ground, it's going to crash because your vote is not going to change the reality. See, that's the trick. All these different things is a way to get you, destroy you. All these tricks was designed to destroy you. They're all set up to take and abrogate the true reality, which is constant, torque, currents, energy, and harsh. They come with religion, drugs, capitalism, leisure, and democracy. All enemies to us, destroy us. See? Because Hajj, we're going to talk about that in the next phase, but Hajj, where that come in at? When you're doing these other ones and then you go out and you talk to that brother and sister that's not doing it, that's original, that don't know it yet. Just like Farah came and started talking. He started the Hajj process. Elijah Muhammad continued Hajj process. But he forced it. And so therefore he left. It fell apart. So when you tell, and that brother and sister is will within wills. So when they start moving in that direction, because it'll take a while, because remember, they just came out of the freezer 400 years, so they're going to take it out. But when you tell them, that's starting to Hajj, because they're starting to throw out. And they're starting to start moving in the right. First, Elijah got us into neutral, but Farrakhan started taking it back in reverse again. But once you start moving out of reverse towards neutral, or out of neutral into drive, right, you starting, that's the Hajj. And then sort of more, because once they start thinking consequence, then they're going to be in harmony with you. Because they're not going to argue with you whether 5 plus 5 equals 5. They ain't going to try to tell you 5 plus 5 is 55. They start thinking mathematically. That means they start being in harmony with you. Because now you might disagree on how to get to 12. You might say, well, it's 3 times 4. He might say 2 times 6. But you won't disagree that it's 12. Because we're all going to have disagreements on that because we all are different. We all have different perspectives, and we have to respect that. Your heart your heart cell has a different perspective than your lung cell, and your eye cell has a different perspective than both of those. So we understand that, but we all work together. That's what the Hajj is, harmony. See, democracy is made everybody do their own thing. So if your heart did its own thing and your brain did its own thing, you'd be dead in an instant. See, so you have all these different things, right? You have different perspectives, but they all work together. So when you talk to this brother and sister, right, and they start thinking mathematically, then they're going to agree with you that 5 plus 5 is, they're going to agree with you that 5 plus 7 is 12. They're going to agree with you. They might say, but I would like it better when it's 6 plus 6. But they ain't going to disagree, but both of you not going to disagree that it's 12. You don't come to my, well, 6 plus 6 is 66. You ain't going there. See what I'm saying? And so that disagreement we can deal with. That disagreement, how you come to it, we can deal with. Because that's the nature of working together. That's civilization. See? But you can't, well, if somebody come and tell you 6 plus 6 is 66, you can't agree with that. Because if that, then you might as well say, well, 6 plus 6 is 88. I mean, anything. I mean, because if you're going low, go that line. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the Hajj. Because once you start this, but that's our duty. Because that's how you get peace. Because you get everybody start moving in that direction. And all of a sudden you have peace. See? And anybody refuse, they just get burned up. Because the sun, when the sun hits you, either you start revolving or you get burned up. So those that won't revolve, that's the demons and the devils and whatever, well, they're going to be burned up. But that's why you have to be talking, you see, democracy against all that. Oh man, we ain't no robots. How's that about robots? That's what they tell you. We ain't robots, we do what we want to do. Okay. But they even tell you that they even tell you they can't do that 100%. They tell you it's in a pure democracy because they know they can't have any, you can't have a civilization with pure democracy, you just can't have it. They know that. That was it. Well, this was really a republic. See, it can't be a pure democracy. See, they even tell you that. See, because when they get backs against the wall and they're under threat of war, there's no democracy in the military. None. Zero. See, now they want Hajj. See, they want unity. They want everybody to be in sync, harmony. That's why they march and all that kind of stuff. See, they're telling you Hajj is the real way, but they won't because they know when the shit hits the fan, you better go Hajj. Democracy, you better get rid of, or you ain't gonna survive. But they can't tell you that. See, but watch their actions. Because in the military, they don't democracy there. They want Hajj. They want unity. They want everybody going in sequence, marching everybody in harmony. You understand? Because they want to deal with the enemy. They're not going to deal with democracy. See, because you had, when they came out of the caves, they was using that. I mean, when you went out there was fighting the savages, Romans was fighting the savages, they're democracy. Everybody just grabbed an axe or a sword and everything. Everybody just ran after the enemy and started fighting. Everybody was doing their own thing. And why did that happen? The Romans kicked their ass because Romans applied Hajj, harmony, organization, marching, right? And the savages applying democracy. You just go ahead, man, everybody just go kick ass. Everybody just grab a stone or a rock or whatever. Let's go kick ass. And what happened? The Romans were kicking their ass. So the truth is clear, brothers and sisters. So I hope you understand. I said the next phase will be Hajj. And then we got a couple more phases I want to talk about. Ramadan, how that fits into all of this, right? And then I might have a phase on the basic principles of mathematics, just bottom line mathematics, how the universe works. I've done it. I've already put it out there, right? But I'm gonna put it out a different way in respect to this. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. See, but this was about energy. Now it's up to you. Because if you don't have an energy, you can't do other things. You maximize your energy by fasting. Mass times acceleration. Mass is food, acceleration, energy. Equals force. How much force you going to have? You need force to do the other four. See? All these work together. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.